The Green Bay Packers versus the Indianapolis Colts. People kind of sleep, in my opinion, on the Colts because the Colts' defense is the strength of their team. They went and they handled Tennessee on Thursday Night Football. I do think that based on this defense, and the offense is getting incrementally better throughout the season, incrementally better. They're not wowing anybody, and it's still a defensive team, but they are getting better. I like Indianapolis to win the AFC South at this point. Now, the Green Bay Packers, they have some question marks for me. I mean, they should have put Jacksonville away. We were talking about this. I think the spread was like 13, and we're like, oh, gosh, we're staying away from that. It's something the Packers should cover, but we didn't like it. Come on, man. Rookie quarterback had to come back basically from behind and win that game. I did not like it. Now, Green Bay, they want to establish the run. Indianapolis, what's their strength? And they stop the run, right? They are good at stopping the run. I don't think Green Bay is going to have a lot of success there, but can they stop Davante Adams? That's the big question mark. Let me hit you with some fantasy projections here. Aaron Rodgers is a start. Even though I say Indianapolis is great at shutting down the run, I think you have to start Aaron Jones every week. I have him on my roster. I'm going to play him. I don't love it, though. I don't have warm and fuzzy feelings, and Jamal Williams is a little bit more integrated yesterday, right, when we recorded this, against Jacksonville, that makes me comfortable as an Aaron Jones owner. We'll talk about that in a bit. Davante Adams, obviously, you play him. Maybe Valdez-Scantling. I don't love Tanyan this week. For Indianapolis, on the other hand, I don't have Rivers as a start. Oh, my goodness. Jonathan Taylor, where are you, my man? Where are you? Nyheim Hines, we've been talking about him. I've been high on him 2 weeks, and then the next week he always falls flat. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I actually like Hines. Look, I have Taylor projected as a start, as a slam dunk start, but he's got to get the ball, for crying out loud. Hines, we'll see. Michael Pittman, I said last week, is the ad of the week. I still feel that way. Last week I said he could have a Travis Fulgham on the Eagles-like impact to your fantasy roster as we close out the season. David pulled up the schedule. We talked about this last week. I love Michael Pittman going forward. I think he's the key to this offense, specifically the passing game, not T.Y. Hilton. And then I like Indianapolis tight end. Roll the dice. Who is it? Is it going to be Burton? Is it going to be Ali Cox? I tend to think Ali Cox is the better of the tight ends, but he doesn't always get the snaps. I don't know. Indianapolis tight end. I like him, but who is it? I don't know. Maybe David does. Take it away, David.
Man, what an absolute shame it is that Jonathan Taylor gets the Green Bay Packers this week, the third most friendliest running back matchup for fantasy points, and none of us know what to do with him. Do you start him in the third friendliest running back matchup? I mean, only the Lions and Texans have given up more running back fantasy points than the Green Bay Packers so far this season on a points per game basis. So I'm gonna give it one more week with Jonathan Taylor.
You have to.
I'm gonna plug him back into my starting lineup. One more week. If he lets me down again, he sits until I see him put up a big game. But if you're taking the risk on Jonathan Taylor and you need running backs, maybe even Jordan Wilkins is worth the risk this week.
Yeah.
Talk about Hines. Maybe he's worth the risk. All three of these guys are worth risking it for if you don't have better options, just because it's the Green Bay Packers and they allow fantasy points to running backs like it's their job.
I'm wondering, let me cut in here real quick about that just quickly. I'm wondering, because Indianapolis, I mentioned I think their offense is getting incrementally better, and Rivers is getting incrementally better inside the system. I'm wondering if, to start the year, obviously Mac gets hurt, then Taylor comes in and he's looking phenomenal. I'm wondering if they were just trying to support Rivers early and run more, and now that Rivers is a little bit more comfortable, they're passing more, so that's why Hines is... This is just a theory. I don't know. Colts fans, you can comment below. Tell me what you're seeing. I mean, I like the team a lot, but I feel like the philosophy has changed in the last 3 weeks, and that's why we're seeing a little bit more uptick from Hines. But I've been burned by Hines. I was burned by Hines in the first quarter of the season. I don't know if I can trust it. I tend to think, gosh, I'm like the guy that goes back to the cheating girlfriend. I feel like you can bet on Hines because I think Rivers is I'm justifying it, David. I'm justifying it. I think that Rivers is going to be throwing the ball more, so that means Hines is going to be integrated more. I don't know. Am I crazy? I don't know. Comment below. I don't know.
I'll tell you what. I've had a little bit of experience going back to the cheating girlfriends. It doesn't usually
work out.
So probably avoid Nyheim Hines. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe the girlfriend really is sorry, because like you said, this team is changing their identity.
Yeah.
And it's not just your gut feeling. The statistics back it up. You look at the passing attempts through the first 5 weeks. He had a lot first week, 46. then 25, 21, 29, 33. That is low passing volume. They were running ball. It presented opportunity for Jonathan Taylor. The past 4 weeks, 44, 33, 43, 39 passing attempts. So it's flip-flop. Now they're a passing team where to start the year they were a running team.
Right.
And that's good news for, like you said, Michael Pittman Jr. You look at these past 4 games, 371 yards and 3 passing touchdowns for Rivers, 262 and 3, 227 and nothing against Baltimore. Don't count it.
Right.
And then 308 and a touchdown this past week against Tennessee. So he's been above 262, a passing touchdown, in basically 3 straight games because we're going to throw the Baltimore one out. You shouldn't have been starring any of them in that game anyway.
Right.
So it is becoming a more than functional passing offense. That's good news for the tight ends. It's good news for Michael Pittman Jr. It's not so good news for Jonathan Taylor. The only good news for Jonathan Taylor is the schedule is completely on his side up until the Week 16 matchup against Pittsburgh. They got Green Bay, Tennessee, Houston, the Raiders, and again, Houston Week 15. So Jonathan Taylor, don't throw in the towel yet. Do not drop him. If you drop him, you're insane.
Gosh, don't do that. That'd be nuts. Green Bay, anything to say on Green Bay before we go to the line here?
Not a whole lot. You know what to do with Green Bay. The only thing is keep an eye on Alan Lazard, who might be back this week. He had a good start to the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's better than Valdez-Scantling. I think this offense likes him quite a bit. But we're back into Devontae Adams mode, and who can argue, man?
Did we ever leave it?
Well, I think when he was hurt. When he was hurt, and then he came back, and they were kind of still spreading it around. But now it's the Devontae Adams show, and you can't blame him for that. I mean, he's just phenomenal. Well, let me get you with the line here. Green Bay, according to Bovada, plus 1.5 versus Indianapolis. Who do you got?
I like Green Bay barely. I don't love picking this game though. But I'll take Green Bay.
I think Indianapolis. It's just an intriguing matchup to me. I think Indianapolis can get it done. Green Bay, they're not playing their best football. They're not playing as good in this. I guess we're in the third quarter of the season at this point. Quarter 2 was not as good as quarter 1. That's not to say Green Bay's a bad team. I still think they're a contender, but I think Indianapolis is just playing stronger football right now. So I'll take the Colts. But like you, David, I'm not going to bet on it. I just look forward to watching it and kind of seeing what Indianapolis is doing with their personnel because I have a big question about that. Next game on the list.